on hold, pausing it, until you've had that person or that thing that will make you happy. 2, while striving and trying to get it hard, when you reach and you have it, and it's the source of your happiness, what happens? You want to keep it. Because without it, you become what? Miserable. It's the source of your happiness. Not to mention if that source is a person, well, how much pressure you're actually putting on that person to fulfill you or to give you enough attention and happiness. So what I'm saying here is aspire, achieve, definitely. But be aware. Is that something that I want to enrich my life, to add to my happiness? Or that thing or person is the source of my happiness? Because if it is, then you know there's a price to pay. So if it's none of this, if you have that list and none of them work, and please add to that list things like recognition, attention, approval. When I pray, I say, please God, save me the need for recognition, attention, and approval. Because if any or all of them are the source of your happiness, you will live your life begging for them. So if happiness and fulfillment do not come from external factors, where do they come from? From within. Okay, sounds good, right? Anybody figured out how to do that? Okay, that's what we want to talk about today. The key to fulfillment. What is fulfillment? Again, we said that inner sense of contentment, that you're happy genuinely with the person you are and with the life you're living. How to get there? It's what I call achieving 100% congruence. Anybody knows what is congruence? Yeah? Exactly. It's that alignment, that balance is when you reach it, you feel so peaceful and so fulfilled that you don't need anything from outside to make you happy. So balance about what? Balance between what and what? Balance between your true self and the way you live. 2 things here, and we'll talk about it in a minute. True self and living. When you achieve balance, when you are congruent, you start experiencing fulfillment automatically. You start looking at the mirror and loving the person you see, respecting the person you see. And you will know you're there when your word becomes your honor. When you, again, look at yourself and would never ever trade who you are with anything in the world. So let's talk about true self and living. What do you mean by true self? Your true self is the source of all values, the values and beliefs you were born with, like love, faith, courage, confidence, all of this. That's why when you were a child, you had no problem going and putting your finger inside the electric socket because you had no fear. Do you remember when you were a kid, when you, at any point of time, got worried about how big your nose is? No, you didn't care. You're just enjoying life. So if that's your true self, what is living? Living is what you do. Every decision you make to act, react, speak, behave, every single moment of your life. From the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep. Consciously and subconsciously. And all the decisions, as Bob and Rich mentioned, are based on what? Values and beliefs. Now, don't get confused here. The values and beliefs you're currently basing your decisions day to day, minute by minute on, are not exactly the same values you were born with. Because what? Because you've acquired lots of opinions and beliefs and information from your external environment as you grew up. So now you like this and you dislike that, and you think it's actually your choice. It's not. It's what, as you grew up and got older, believed in. Okay? So the concept now is to achieve 100% congruence between the way we live with our current set of values, which is now combined with external beliefs as well, and our true self, going back to that fearless, joyful, happy child we were one day. When you do that, you automatically achieve fulfillment. And let's go back to what we want to do. We want to be able to attract success easily, effortlessly, while enjoying life. All right? How? Well, let's be realistic here. It sounds great, and I get clients who go, Hanan, I'm being the best person I could be. I'm really trying hard. And I give, I help, I meditate, I relax, but still I'm not happy and I'm not sure why. The reason you cannot really put a finger on what is that you need to fix is because, as we said, living is based on decisions or set a decision you make consciously and subconsciously, and they are driven by your values. And as we said, there are core beliefs. Now, our beliefs can be limiting or encouraging, pain, pleasure. What do you think, which one you think most people, if not all, base their decisions upon? Pain. Freud, that's what Freud said. Pain. So you do go to the gym because you're afraid of what? Getting fat, putting weight. Not because you're enjoying it. You take a certain job and you stay in the same job for years because you're security. So the idea here is you recognize and be able to identify the limiting beliefs and the actions and the behaviors you're living on a day-to-day basis, which are driven by what? By pain, by negativity. And be able to weaken those and cultivate more and more of encouraging beliefs, which will eventually become in line with your true self. When you start living and making decisions every minute of your life out of or based on your values, your true self values, that treasure that is now buried down there and underneath a lot of layers of fears and need, and then you can start living. When people go through this process, they usually come back and say, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen that before. I've never seen it until we talked about it." So what is that you could do? 4 steps I call the ATTRACT model. Awareness techniques, transform, action, and then you continue transforming.